Hi everyone, welcome to Chakra Healing 101. My name is Dibson and I'll be your teacher for this 8-week course. So this week, our learning objectives are as follows. We are going to understand the concept of chakras and their role in the human energy system. We'll learn a brief history and origins of chakra theory. We'll explore the 7 primary chakras and their significance. I'll introduce you to Carl Jung's concept of the shadow and its relevance to chakra healing, and I'll also introduce you to Reiki and its relevance to chakra healing. So let's talk about what are chakras. So chakras are spinning wheels or vortices of energy located along the spine, from the base to the crown of the head. So the word chakra comes from the Sanskrit word for wheel or disc. So they act as a gateway for energy flow, influencing physical health, emotional states, and spiritual growth. The most common way that people tap into their energy body is through chakras. Chakras are wheels of energy that assimilate and express life force energy. Each chakra takes charge of the energy that fuels certain parts of your life and governs specific body parts and essential organs. Though you may not realize it, chakras and their imbalances could be responsible for your health, mental well being, and success or failure in particular areas of your life, such as career or relationships. So, chakras and the subtle body. So, chakras are part of the subtle energy system, which includes the aura, the energy field, the meridians, energy pathways, and the nadis, channels for prana. When chakras are balanced, energy flows freely, promoting health and harmony. Now let's dive in deeper into what each parts of the subtle body are. So the aura, which is the energy field, is an electromagnetic field that surrounds the body and reflects the state of our energy. Many of you can go to a shop and have a picture taken of your aura. And in those pictures, normally you see a whole display of different colors. And those are the different colors that pop up are in relation to your chakras. And we'll talk about what those colors are in a few more slides. The meridians, which are energy pathways, are channels through which energy known as chi or prana flows in the body. So, chi, which is universal life force energy, known in Chinese and Asian cultures, or prana in Hindu culture, but it's the same universal life force energy, just known by different names. And the nadis, sorry if I'm butchering that, energy channels are subtle energy channels that carry prana throughout the body. So let's talk about the aura, which is the energy field. So the aura has different layers. So it has a physical layer, which is closest to the body related to physical health. Has an emotional layer, which reflects our emotional state and feelings. Has a mental layer associated with thoughts, beliefs, and mental clarity. A spiritual layer, which connects us to higher consciousness and universal energy. So the chakras act as gateways between these layers, facilitating the flow of energy between the physical and subtle bodies. So how do the chakras interact with the subtle body? So chakras act as energy transformers, converting universal life force energy, prana or chi, into a form that the physical body can use. Each chakra corresponds to specific layers of the aura and influences related aspects of our being. So for example, the root chakra connects to the physical layer, grounding us in the material world. The heart chakra connects us to the emotional layer, governing love and compassion. And the crown chakra connects us to the spiritual layer, linking us to higher consciousness. So when chakras are balanced, energy flows freely through the subtle body, promoting health and harmony. When blocked, energy stagnates, leading to physical, emotional, or spiritual imbalances. So, what are some energy healing practices? So, there are techniques like Reiki, acupuncture, and yoga that work with the subtle body to clear blockages and restore energy flow. Another way that we can help us connect with our chakras and also help us clear the blockages are through meditation and visualization. So these practices help us become aware of the energy and consciously direct it from healing and growth. So we'll touch on a brief history and origins of chakra theory. So chakras originated in Indian traditions, so the Vedas, yoga, tantra, and chakras are part of a holistic system for spiritual growth. Now, in modern times, through the New Age movement, it has been adapted through energy healing practices like Reiki, acupuncture, and crystal healing. And also, there has been scientific interest in the biofield and energy medicine. So, the concept of chakras is thousands of years old and was first documented in the early text of the ancient traditions of Hinduism. Chakras were initially mentioned in the Vedas and Upanishads in the second and first millennium BCE. However, they were much simpler and different from the way we envision chakras today. Later on, chakras appeared in medieval Buddhist texts and became more prominent in medieval Hindu texts. The Buddhist chakra system typically only had 4 or 5 chakras, while ancient and medieval Hindu systems included 6 or 7. Since the 7 chakra system is the most well known, this is the one that we'll talk about in this course. So, chakras were introduced to the Western culture in the late 1800s, and much of the lore we know for them today was added at this time. So, for example, Charles D. Leadbeater's 1927's book, The Chakras, um, was a foundational book that brought chakra theory to Western society. So, in this book, there was a rainbow color scheme, and it wasn't until the past few decades that chakras were associated with tarot, astrology, witchcraft, and other spiritual topics. So, there were quite a few prominent Western thinkers and spiritualists who expanded our understanding of chakras. Today, most of what we know about chakras is quite different from what you read about them in ancient Hindu or Buddhist texts. So, even though chakras have been in Western culture for about 150 years, only in the past 50 years or so that they have actually become a mainstream topic. So now almost everyone in Western culture understands their importance or at least knows about how chakras affect our health and well-being. So we'll do a brief introduction on each of the 7 chakras. Um, so first one, the root chakra. And I've also included the Sanskrit word for them. I am not going to try to pronounce them. I don't want to butcher it. So the location, as you can see on the person on the bottom left corner, it's at the base of the spine. And on the top right corner, we have the color red. That is the color that signifies the root chakra, also known as the base chakra. And each chakra has a different symbol here, and that is the 4 petaled flower for the root chakra. So that rules over grounding, survival, stability. And if it's imbalanced, we can have issues with fear, anxiety, and financial instability. The root chakra helps with grounding and connecting to the earth. People with a blocked or imbalanced root chakra are often ungrounded and feel they don't have the right to take up space. It is the chakra of safety and security, which are essential before focusing on and healing other areas of one's life. The root chakra is also connected to issues involving the bladder, colon, and lower back. So, in other weeks, where we focus on a specific chakra, I'll talk more deeply about what areas of the body they rule and what kind of issues, physical issues, can be presented if your root chakra is imbalanced. So, some people even associate this chakra with issues regarding the feet or legs. And like I said before, it's the color red and it's associated with the element of earth. Next, we have the sacral chakra. So the color is orange, and as you could see the picture on the bottom left, it is on the lower abdomen. So the sacral chakra is located just above the root chakra, right below the navel area. So this chakra is in charge of the energy we use for creativity, sexuality, and sensuality. So when you're struggling with your artistic endeavors or intimacy with your partner, this is probably the chakra you need to clear and heal. The sacral chakra is also considered the storehouse for most emotions. So many emotional and mental health concerns are connected to this chakra. The sacral chakra governs all issues related to the sex organs, hips, and kidneys, and it is represented by the color orange and is associated with the element of water. Next, we have the solar plexus chakra. So above the sacral chakra, you'll find the solar plexus in the upper navel and stomach area. The solar plexus is the chakra of confidence and assertiveness. A robust solar plexus helps a person develop good self esteem and use their power and will to achieve their goals and dreams. Conversely, a weak solar plexus makes a person passive and weak filled. The solar plexus also plays an essential role in regulating the stomach, kidneys, liver, and adrenal glands. It's also part of the sympathetic nervous system and is usually the chakra that is blocked when you are struggling with anxiety. This chakra is represented by the color yellow and is associated with the element of fire. Next, we have the heart chakra. So, a lot of people put a lot of importance to the heart chakra, but I would say that it's no more important than any other chakra. So the heart chakra governs all matters of the heart, from self love to relationships to compassion and forgiveness. This chakra stores all the energy associated with anything that can pain or heal your heart. An open heart chakra allows us to connect fully with others and exhibit unconditional love, while a closed chakra can lead to loneliness, anger, distrust, and insecurity. So the heart chakra, of course, is located at the center of the chest and is in charge of the lungs, heart, and breast. It is a center chakra in the seven chakra system, and therefore also represents the balance of spiritual and earthly matters. It is represented by the color green and is associated with the element of air. So a lot of people say that if your heart chakra is blocked, then there isn't energy flowing up and down the entire system. Now, I would say that if any of the chakras are blocked, then there probably isn't good flow between all of them. So, like I said before, a lot of people put special emphasis on the heart chakra, but I would say that all of them equally have um, an important role to play in the entire system. Next, we have the throat chakra. So, this is the first one of the upper chakras. So, the throat chakra is located at the base of the throat and governs all matters of communication, such as public speaking and the ability to speak your truth. When this chakra is blocked, you may be more timid and unwilling or completely unable to speak your mind. When balanced, you can communicate clearly and assertively. So, this chakra governs all matters of the throat and is connected to issues such as sore throats and laryngitis. It is also connected to any problems involving the thyroid gland and the mouth. So, this chakra is represented by the color blue and is associated with the element of sound. Next up, which also this is another chakra that a lot of people, especially in the spiritual community, put a lot of emphasis in. So usually people put a lot of emphasis in the third eye chakra because it is related to spiritual enlightenment, or it is one of the spiritual chakras. So it's located at the brow, so just above and between your other eyes. The third eye chakra is associated with all matters related to intuition, dreams, and spiritual growth. So, if you relate to having spiritual gifts such as clairvoyance, clairaudience, psychic abilities, being a psychic medium, then this is kind of the chakra that you develop. So it also helps with concentration and focus and is your gateway to communicating with spirit. A blocked or imbalanced third eye will prevent you from connecting with the universe or your intuition, while an open third eye will help you with these and will help you access your spiritual gifts. The third eye is connected to all issues involving the pineal gland and is represented by the color indigo and is associated with the element of light. Last but not least, we have the crown chakra. So, the crown chakra is your connection to spirit. It is the gateway to the rest of the universe and is the chakra you use to communicate with God. If this is blocked, you will have difficulty hearing your divine guidance and communicating with spirit. You may also struggle to feel one with the universe and will feel very disconnected. This chakra is also associated with all matters regarding consciousness, thought, and intellect. Unlike other chakras, the crown chakra, as the name suggests, is not located directly on the body, but right above the top of the head. It is represented by the color violet or sometimes the color white and governs the element of thought. So, what are some common signs that your chakras may be imbalanced? So, you can either have poor mental health, it could develop as physical ailments, or just in general life challenges. And I'll go um, into giving specific examples for each chakra when we talk about a specific chakra in the following weeks. Um, but let's talk about poor mental health for now. So, whether energy is stuck and stagnant or active and chaotic, the energetic change will certainly affect your mind. So, as a result, you may experience too much energy, which makes you anxious, or too little energy, which encourages negative thoughts and melancholy. Many people with blocked chakras live with mental health issues like anxiety, depression, obsessive compulsive disorder, and ADHD, but find healing and balance once they begin to heal their chakras. So, some mental health conditions are tied to specific chakras, which makes healing much more straightforward. Other conditions might be a little bit more complex and require healing multiple chakras at once. So, however, if you're experiencing any mental health conditions, you should also work with a mental health professional as they will know the best treatment strategy for your situation. So, chakras can also create physical ailments. So, each chakra governs organs and essential systems and body parts that we need to function healthily on this planet. So, therefore, if any of your chakras are out of balance or not in harmony, you may experience body pains and diseases. So, for example, having a blocked heart chakra may result in heart disease, while a blocked sacral chakra can make one impotent or cause a UTI. Some severe cases of blocked chakras may lead to chronic conditions or even organ failure. Though chakras can influence your physical health and contribute to various ailments, it is always crucial to talk to a medical professional about other factors, as well as treatment options. Though doing shadow work and energy healing is important, if you have like severe conditions, then always speak with a medical professional about those physical ailments. And then the chakras can also develop life challenges. So, like with health concerns, chakras maintain and control the energy flow in other areas of your life. So, your finances, your career, and relationships are all governed by chakras. So, if any of them are blocked, you will experience stagnant energy in the particular area of your life. So, for example, if you have a blocked or weakened root chakra, the chakra of safety and security, you may struggle to make enough money to pay your bills. If you have a blocked or weakened throat chakra, you may struggle to assert boundaries and be clear about your needs. If you have a blocked crown chakra, you may feel completely disconnected from your spiritual life. So, when faced with problems, you must take action to tackle them head on. So, however, by doing shadow work and healing our chakras, we can encourage better energy flow and it will increase the chances of being successful in life. So, what are some methods for healing chakras? So, I'll just go over some quick ones. And then again, every week, once we go further into detail about each chakra, I'll give you specific examples on how to heal that specific chakra. So, yoga. There are many different practices of yoga that help with the movement of energy flow in our body, and that helps that universal life energy, prana, chi, whatever you want to call it, move in our body and help um, release the blockages of that energy within our chakras. Meditation. Meditation can help us feel the energy within our bodies, connect to it, and also release certain energies. And it could also get help move that energy within that chakra. And then visualization. So, visualization um, of seeing that energy flow will help that energy continue to move within your body. Journaling can help you with releasing certain emotional blockages in your chakras. So, I'll talk about shadow work later on in the class of how that can help us release certain emotional blockages, therefore, helping us release the blockages within our chakras and help us regain better energy flow within our bodies. And then, of course, self care. So, finding the time and energy to love and heal ourselves through various different forms is going to help us heal our chakras. I'm going to introduce you and just touch briefly on Carl Jung. So, Carl Jung was an early 20th century Swiss psychiatrist and the founder of psychoanalytic psychology. He was initially a student of Sigmund Freud, but the two eventually went their separate ways due to disagreements in their philosophies. So when Jung broke away from Freud and founded his own school of psychology, Jung was much more spiritual than his colleagues and significantly influenced the popular ideas we see in metaphysics today. So, some of his achievements in psychology and metaphysics include distinguishing between introverted and extroverted personality types, understanding the importance of dreams and dream interpretation and analysis, an emphasis on spirituality and its importance in maintaining good emotional health, and understanding that two seemingly unrelated events that occur close to one another could have meanings or significance, so synchronicities. So Carl Jung is still a little bit of a controversial figure. Many are critical of the spiritual nature of his work, as few psychologists before him or since him have chosen to integrate spirituality and psychology. Either way, he is considered an important figure and influential psychologist. So, although Carl Jung proposed many influential ideas in the realms of metaphysics and psychology, in order to understand the shadow, we need to discuss two specific theories of his. So that's the collective unconscious and archetypes. So, what is the collective unconscious? So, one of Jung's most revolutionary ideas is the belief in a collective unconscious. So, Jung believed that all humans share a collection of knowledge and imagery that arises from ancient ancestral experiences. Though humans are unaware of these experiences, this knowledge and imagery are tapped into during times of survival and moments of creativity. According to Jung, the collective unconscious is why many cultures have similar ideas, beliefs, and symbols, despite being very vastly different in every other way. This theory also explains why people worldwide have similar fears, such as fear of snakes and spiders. In art, literature, and symbols, the collective unconscious shows itself in the form of archetypes. What are archetypes? So, archetypes are images and themes that come up time and time again. So, in art, literature, symbols, and in even personalities. Almost every culture and time period has at least a few of these archetypes, and you are probably familiar with a lot of them, even if you don't really realize it. So, Jung believed the reason these archetypes show up consistently is because they are pulled from the knowledge and imagery stored in the collective unconscious. So Jung identified a large number of archetypes but he paid special attention to four, which he labeled the self, the persona, the shadow, and the anima or animus. The archetypes exist in our personal lives as well. We may take one or more archetypes as part of our personality, depending on our genetics, background, and experiences. So, for example, if your archetype is the hero, then you will be willing to defy the odds and perform courageous acts to prove your worth. If your archetype is the sage, you will be more interested in the average person in seeking truth and knowledge. For many people, understanding their archetypes brings about greater self acceptance and understanding of who they are. Though all of these archetypes have great importance and influence in the lives of many people, one of the most impactful archetypes in both psychology and spirituality is the shadow. So, the shadow. Simply put it, the shadow is the blind spot of our psyche. It compromises our undesirable traits that we wish to remain hidden from ourselves and other people. Unfortunately, most people are either unaware of or do not wish to confront the darker and unpleasant aspects of themselves. So they avoid it. They just don't confront it. So this results in the strengthening and dissociation of the shadow, which causes inner conflict and feeling and the feeling of being incomplete. The shadow forms when we suppress beliefs, ideas, actions, or anything else that conflicts of with those of society and our own values and morals. So for most people, this begins in childhood. So this is a very beginning of child, 3 or 4 years old. So this happens in our childhood when we are told how to behave in order to function well in society. Though this is important to learn as a child, sometimes we are led to believe that any unfavorable emotions or actions should be repressed or hidden. As a result, instead of integrating beliefs and emotions in a healthy way into our personality, we suppress them, which then creates our shadow. When the shadow forms, so does another archetype, the persona. The persona is the mask that we show the world, and it is a compilation of the favorable qualities, beliefs, and emotions we are not afraid of or embarrassed about. But it can also compromise of fake qualities we take on to present on a particular image to others. Because the persona is usually perceived as favorably by others, this encourages people to either unconsciously or consciously continue rejecting their shadow and to accept only their persona. So, this is a painful process because it means that they are rejecting a part of who they are. Many people reject their shadow because they fear seeing their flaws or what others may perceive as their flaws. For many, the pain of confronting their shortcomings is far worse than rejection, so they continue to ignore their shadow. However, this can have many severe consequences that affect every aspect of one's life. So, again, to recap, the shadow is the unconscious part of the psyche that contains repressed emotions, desires, and traits. So, how does this relate to chakra healing? So, these repressed emotions, fear, anger, guilt, that we have been holding on to since childhood through our teenage years, our adulthood can block chakras and disrupt the energy flow in our body. So, shadow work helps uncover and heal those blockages. So, for example, a blocked root chakra may stem from unresolved fear or trauma stored in the shadow. The shadow is the part of ourselves that we reject, deny, or suppress because it doesn't align with our self image or societal expectations. Again, this shadow, or also known as this emotional armor that we create, is created when we are in our toddler years. So think about 3, 4 years old. So, again, these are repressed emotions or acknowledged desires or needs that we consider negative. And these negative things like jealousy, selfishness are usually the expectations that society puts on us. So, what happens when you reject the shadow? So, the first one is projection and denial. So Jung stated that when the shadow is ignored or unknown to a person, it is most likely to be projected. This is the most common way the shadow shows itself, but very few people are self aware enough to realize it. When people are uncomfortable about a particular trait of their own, they look for that quality in others and project their insecurities onto those people. This temporarily makes them feel better about their own flaws and deflects any responsibility for inner growth. So, of course, rejecting the shadow can also lead to denial. In many cases, shadow rejection is unconscious, so meaning that people are not aware of their undesirable traits or flaws. So, when confronted, they may deny they have the flaw because they honestly believe that it isn't an issue. So, for example, a person with extreme anger issues may be in denial of their problem. When confronted with the issue, They may fly into a rage and claim they aren't very emotional at all. They may even judge others for showing any emotion, even if it's only a fraction of what they exhibit on a daily basis. Another way, what happens when you reject the shadow is through mental illnesses can develop. So rejecting your shadow can lead to inner disconnect and emotional turmoil. So many people with strong, unintegrated shadows struggle with negative self talk, rumination, and low self esteem. This is incredibly painful to live with and can destroy a person's mental health. If this goes long enough, it could develop into a mental health condition such as anxiety or depression. Other people react to their shadows in the opposite way. Instead of believing the negative self talk, they combat it with extreme confidence. So, this can result in the development of behavioral disorders like narcissism, histrionic personality disorder. So, regardless of whether someone is struggling with depression or narcissism, both options are unhealthy and avoid the important process of accepting them for who they are. If you reject your shadow, you can also form vices. So, in order to avoid the pain of the shadow, some people look to vices to quiet the inner critic and the darkness that the shadow has. So, habits like smoking, drinking, overeating, and any substance or habit that can temporarily numb the pain is what you will resort to. So, however, these habits do not heal the pain and can actually make it worse. You may have noticed that few people who partake in these habits show any genuine joy or feelings of wholeness. Some people can form harmful behaviors. So, in some cases, extreme projections can lead to harmful or problematic behavior. That's because sometimes people with strong shadows mistake others as the source of their pain and perceive them as a threat. So, for example, sometimes those who are insecure about their sexuality or bodies will exhibit sexist, homophobic, or body shaming behavior in order to make themselves feel better. They put down people who are secure with themselves because they see them as a threat to their happiness. But but as we know now, this behavior can have severe consequences. What's worse is that people who are in denial of their harmful behavior will continue to act this way because they need to hurt others in order to feel good about themselves. And again, like I touched before, the shadow can lead to physical ailments and illnesses. So the shadow is develops in childhood as we learn to hide aspects of ourselves that are deemed unacceptable. Over time, these repressed aspects accumulate in the unconscious mind, influencing our behavior and energy. So how does the shadow affect our chakras? So it causes emotional blockages. So the repressed emotions stored in the shadow can create blockages in the chakras, disrupting energy flow. Like, for example, in the root chakra, fear or insecurity may block this chakra, leading to feelings of instability or disconnection. In the heart chakra, unresolved grief or fear of vulnerability may block this chakra, causing difficulty in forming and maintaining relationships. It could cause behavioral patterns. So the shadow aspect often manifests as recurring patterns or triggers in our life. So, for example, a person with a blocked solar plexus chakra may struggle with low self esteem or control issues due to the repressed anger or power struggles stored in the shadow. And these behavioral patterns will continue to come up time and time again throughout your life until you actually address the core issue. And It could also cause energy imbalances. So, when shadow aspects remain unaddressed, they can create chronic imbalances in the chakras, leading to physical or emotional issues. So, how can we heal the shadow? So, what is shadow work? Shadow work is the process of bringing unconscious aspects into conscious awareness, allowing us to heal and integrate them. The practice of healing one's shadow is called shadow work. It comes in many forms to help you become aware of and accept your flaws and shortcomings. This work incorporates anything that helps you integrate the darker side of your personality with the lighter ones. It helps you become whole. There are many ways that shadow work can benefit your life, including reduced depression and anxiety, increased optimism, increased self love and self esteem, more confidence, greater creativity, stronger connections with others, and improved clarity. So, what does shadow work entail? Shadow work is any activity that helps you explore your inner dialogue, connects with your soul, and encourages self love. There are many ways to do shadow work. So, a few options include, and one of the most popular is journaling. So, either on blank pages or in journal prompts. Mindfulness, meditation, recording and analyzing your dreams, using affirmations, or working with a therapist. So these are the steps for shadow work. So the first one and the most important one is self reflection. So identifying recurring emotional patterns or triggers through journaling or therapy. So one I say this is the most important part of shadow work is looking at your life and seeing what is constant, what emotions are constantly repeating in your life. There are things that constantly repeat over and over. Sometimes you may even say, I'm experiencing the same thing over and over, but with just different people or different situations. This is where you can self reflect and identify what emotional pattern is causing you to repeat these same situations over and over. And that's when you can begin to heal. Once you've completed that self reflection period, you can become aware. So observe how these patterns manifest in your thoughts, emotions, and behaviors. Once you have become emotionally aware of these patterns, these behaviors, these emotions, then you can accept them. You can acknowledge and accept the shadow aspects without judging. Remember, we are not judging the shadow. We are not rejecting the shadow. We are integrating the shadow and acknowledging the shadow. And the final step is integration. So we use healing practices like meditation, affirmations, energy healing to release these blockages and restore the balance of our natural system. Remember that the shadow, we are trying to integrate the shadow of integrating the shadow to light and loving our shadow. The shadow is part of ourselves. So we are the part the important part about shadow work is loving your shadow because it is a part of yourself. And loving yourself will help you become more emotionally balanced and will restore balance to your entire system. So, examples of shadow work in relation to chakras. So, the root chakra. So, confronting fears and building a sense of safety and stability. In the sacral chakra, exploring repressed creativity or emotional desires. In the heart chakra, practicing forgiveness and cultivating self love. So, why does shadow work matter? So, it's a way of holistic healing. Shadow work addresses the root causes of chakra imbalances, leading to deeper and more lasting healing. So, you may be taking this course because you're trying to find a more holistic approach to your healing. Or therapy is quite expensive and it can be a long process. This is a way through shadow work that you can heal yourself um, through holistic healing. Shadow work can also help you with your personal growth. So, integrating the shadow helps us move from fragmentation to wholeness, aligning with the ultimate goal of chakra healing. So, remember that we have been denying this part of ourselves, the shadow, all these parts. We have fragmented ourselves, our soul, and now we are going to integrate these parts of ourselves. And that is going to bring us into wholeness and into self love. And that is going to allow us to grow personally, emotionally, and in many areas of your life. Shadow work is also a big part of a spiritual awakening. So it's a powerful tool for spiritual growth, helping us transcend limiting beliefs and connecting ourselves with our true selves. Remember, the shadow is a part of our true selves. I wanted to do a quick introduction to Reiki. Why did I want to introduce you to Reiki? So I wanted to introduce this class to Reiki because, like I've said, I am going to be creating meditations and Reiki healing sessions for this class specifically to help you heal as you learn about each chakra. And Reiki ties in very much with chakra healing. So, what is Reiki? Reiki is a form of energy healing that originated in Japan. So the word Reiki translates to universal life energy. And remember, we talked about prana and chi, that is the energy that flows up and down our chakra system. The practice of Reiki involves channeling this energy to promote physical, emotional, and spiritual well being. So, a Reiki practitioner uses gentle hand placements on or above the body to transfer energy, helping to clear blockages, restore balance, and support the body's natural healing process. So, Reiki can be administered in person or at a distance across time and space. I am a Reiki healer, so I will be administering Reiki to this course, to the meditations, to the sessions that I will be doing to help you clear these blockages as you also learn to deal with the chakras. On a side note, also, when a Reiki practitioner does Reiki on a body, usually we focus on the seven main chakras in order to heal and remove the blockages from your body. So, energy flow. So, Reiki works with universal life force energy, which is the same energy that flows through the chakra. So, we're dealing with the same energy here. So, I will be channeling energy, life force energy to you, to your body, and that will help you clear and release the blockages in your chakras. We can also do chakra specific healing. So we can focus on a specific chakra that may be imbalanced or blocked. And I'll be doing specific healing meditations each week. So, for example, next week we'll be talking about the root chakra, the meditation and Reiki healing will focus specifically on the root chakra. Reiki can help with amplifying chakra work. So, Reiki can enhance other chakra healing techniques such as meditation, crystal therapy, or sound healing. All right, so that wraps up our lecture. I do have a little bit of homework here. So, meditation homework. So, I will be creating and posting a guided meditation to help students connect with their energy body and sense the flow of energy through your chakras. I will be posting this on YouTube, TikTok, and my Substack. And then shadow work homework. So I will be posting also a video on how to cleanse and activate a quantum healing journal. So to help you guys heal. So why? So I will be working when we talk about each chakra each week, I will be letting you know about shadow work prompts and certain blockages that you may be experiencing. And in order to help release these blockages, it is best to have a dedicated journal for shadow work in order to help you heal and to accelerate your healing. So through this video, I will be showing you how to cleanse and activate this journal. Preferably, it needs to be a new journal, but if you do not have a new journal, just find a notepad. It doesn't have to be a journal necessarily, but just something that you know that you are going to dedicate to shadow work. And then any questions? Please feel free to comment on this video with any questions. I will try to address them either in the comments or in our next class. Again, please follow me on Substack. I will link that in the video. I will be posting these notes there so you guys could reference them whenever you need to. And I will see you next class.